Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today's video is episode 109 in the Throwback Thursday series I'm doing using old makeup. Not oogie old, just not talked about old. And today's palette of choice is... it's the Oden's Eye Sea Talk palette. They did this in collaboration with Lauren May Beauty. And I looked on my Oden's Eye playlist this morning to see, what looks I'd done and how many looks I'd done. And it turns out I've done several. Apparently I really liked this palette when I got it. So I thought about switching to a different palette in this collection and decided not to because I was really drawn to this one. And I mentioned it in my palettes of spring for spring video, and I really want to use it. So that is what I'm doing today. However, I was thinking I would keep it super neutral and wearable with a pop of color. So I'm going to use these two shades on the end, basically, and then of course this one on the inner corner, and I'll deepen it up with the blue if I need to. So that's my plan. I think this one and the Flora Story, I think is what it's called, with Makeup Just for Fun, are very set up to do two eyeshadows and call it a day, like a matte and a shimmer and done. They're beautiful. I don't know if they're still available, but they could be. If they go on sale, I would definitely say these are worth picking up. But let's just do a look and then we can chat when the video is over, or well, when the look is over. How about when I'm done talking about the makeups, we can just chat about the makeups. Wow, I haven't filmed in a bunch of days and I haven't really talked to anybody in a bunch of days, so all I can be is sorry. If you're not subscribed, you probably won't after watching this video, but you could. And click the bell, do the things. I'm going to zoom you in and just start putting eyeshadows on my eyes. Okay, so I'm taking my gently used but cleaned off Refer 13 into Dolphin Tail, which is that kind of mid-taupey shade. And that's gonna go through where I want my crease to be and up into my transition. I'm just gonna blend that as much as I can. So as I'm filming this, it is Tuesday. They are predicting a nor'easter headed our way. They're expecting anywhere from 2 to 3 feet Wednesday and Thursday. So when this goes up, perhaps I will be snowed in. I mean, not that I'm going anywhere anyway. Although we had a couple of days where it was like really nice. Like the air was cold, but the sun was out and strong and warm. And I got to go outside and then boom, it got cold again, which, typical Vermont weather. There's a saying here, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it'll change, because it pretty much does. But I am ready for sunshine and warmth. I know I've been on this kick for a while, but I want to go outside and play. I bought all of the kids, like all the grandbabies, outside toys for Easter. So I have a little football net set up in my living room and a lawnmower in my living room, like a bubble lawnmower. They're all in the house because it's just too cold. And when I bought the stuff, it was really nice out. The snow was gone. But oh well. I typically buy outside toys for Easter. I always have. I never subscribed to buying bikes for Christmas. They couldn't use them. So it was always Easter was like the outside toys. All right, this is where the eyes are right now. I'm gonna go into Night Swim, the dark navy matte blue, for the outer bits. This is going to be like a typical me eye look. I've been playing a lot and trying to do different looks, do different shapes on my eyes, just to kind of keep things interesting. But I think for today's look, I'm gonna go old school Jan. And then for this week's copy kitty, I got a bit of a surprise in store. Nothing like major, just who I'm copy kittying. So hopefully you'll come back for that, because at first I was like, oh, I don't know. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, all right, yeah, that could be cool. Taking my BK Beauty 207, it's just like a fat pencil brush, and the dolphin tail shade, just to blend the blue and the taupey shade together. I'm not going to be one of the girls who likes the weird harsh line out there. Okay, I think we're ready for the shimmer. So I'm going to wet my Singe Beauty E01. Not even going to pretend that we're not going to wet it. And I'm going into, what are you called? Smoky Pearl? I think it's Smoky Pearl. I do wish they wouldn't use metallic writing on names of palettes. It's so hard to read. Perhaps if you're 20, it's not a big deal, but when you're 46, it's very hard to see. I've mentioned before, I have to use reading glasses now to paint my nails. It's hilarious. Turning 40, it's a good time. So many things that I didn't know to expect. So many fun surprises. This shade is so pretty. I mean, it's, you know, nothing wild and crazy necessarily, but the sparkle in it and the tone is just really, really nice. I like that a lot. It's going to take a little bit of blending, I suspect, to get these two shades to kind of meet up and work together. I might actually dip into the metallic blue. Save myself the work. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. There's a little patch of sunshine kind of shining on me, and in that light, this has like a purpley undertone, maybe? I can almost see it on my eye as well. I'll know better when I'm editing how it looks, but I do think that's really pretty. And now you could go in with a dry brush in the shade and it would just be a bit less pigmented and opaque, but probably a bit more sparkly, if that's more your idea of a good time. I just wanted to see what I could get it to do. You know me. All right, let's go into Ocean Jewel, which is the darkest blue. I just cleaned off my brush on a wipey, so it's a little bit damp. Yeah, that's what we need. I just want a smooth blend between, or a smooth transition between the shimmer and the matte. And I think, there's a hair attacking me, that the shimmery blue was the answer. So, you know, a little bit more colorful, I guess, than I was planning, but it is navy blue, really colorful. Wow, I like that. And if you're new here and wondering, I take all of my shimmer shades up past my crease because if I look straight ahead, they would be gone. So I tip up when I'm putting on my eyeshadow, but when I look straight ahead, I want to be able to see the shimmer. Well, you know, not me necessarily, but the person looking at me. So that's why I do that. My eyes are so hooded, or my eyelids are so hooded. All right. I'm liking this. I'm going to wait and do electric kelp after I get my face on, because I want to use some concealer on my inner corner just to kind of brighten up this area right in here with that taupey shade. It looks pretty dark and I think will look nicer, and the electric kelp shade will look a little brighter if I use some concealer. So let me pop off, do my face, and tame this eyebrow hair that's just straight up. What are you doing? And I'll come back and we'll do the inner corner. All right, I'm back and my face is obviously done, as are my eyes, except for the inner corner. So I said I'd come back and do that with you, and that's what we're doing. I'm gonna take my nifty little motor brush. I love this for the inner portion of my lid. I'm not gonna wet it or anything. We're just gonna go in with the dry brush at first to see, because this is kind of like a satin shade. So you wouldn't necessarily have to wet it. That looks pretty cool. All right, I'm just going to slowly build this up so I don't get fallout. And we'll see how it looks. If you stay tuned for a minute and don't nope out quite yet, I will tell you what is on my face. Just dragging this into my lower lash line a little bit. I just think it'll be more fun. Okay, that is that. Let me scooch these hairs out of the way and I'll zoom you in for an up close reconnoiter at the eyes. Okay, I really like this eye look. This is probably my favorite way to wear neutrals with a pop of color. It doesn't have to be wild and crazy, and any pop can go in the inner corner as long as it's not dark. That could make your eyes look smaller, closer together. It's probably not a look most of us want to go for. And I used let me get it without causing an avalanche. I used the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in Honey Dude on my lower lash line. Sometimes I like to go with a funky color in my waterline. Okay, most of the time. But I thought since we were going with like understated and a pop and not several pops, I thought a nude eyeliner would be nice. You know, brown, black would also work for like neutrality, but I liked the nude. I think it, I don't know, maybe lends a bit of brightness without, you know, really being bright. I don't know. Let me know what you think. What else? I used some of the dark blue on the very outer corners of my lower lash line, and then I went in with that dolphin tail shade for the rest, just a little bit to blend under my lashes. And I think that is everything for the eyes, and I'm really liking it. I don't necessarily think that this matte blue is the bestest matte blue of ever. You really can't blend it out. It gets a little bit patchy and weird. So I blended it, added a little bit more, blended it, added a little bit more, and I think it works. But if you were thinking, holy moly, I needed a matte dark blue in my collection, don't go for this one. It's not worth it. But the rest of the shades, I just think they look so pretty, and I love, love, love that inner corner shade. I think it is brilliant. So that wraps up episode 109 in the Throwback Thursday series I'm doing using old makeups with the Sea Talk palette. If you are noping out here, thank you so much for hanging out till this point. And if you are going to hang out for a little bit longer, I'll tell you what else is on my face. Okay, on my mouth, because it's my hands, I'm using my LA Girl lipstick in Enduring Mauve to outline, obviously, and I just blended that into my lips a little bit. And then I went in with this juicy tint that I got with the Beauty Bay palette in the shade Watermelon, just on the very inner, so it looks like Kool-Aid mouth. I just think it's so cool. I really like an ombre look like that. I think it's fun. As for the rest of my face, believe it or not, I am not wearing typical foundation. I went in with the Moira Mega Concealer on my hyperpigmentation and my nose, my forehead, my chin, and then I used the Flower Beauty Serum Concealer under my eyes. Not the best under eyes I've done recently, but not like horrible. And then I used my Catrice contour stick thingy for contour, which is really pretty warm on me right now, so it just blended in with the e.l.f. contour, which is actually a bronzer in the shade Light Medium. And then I went in with this new to me Juvia's Place blush in Pink Lady. I put on 2 dots on each cheeker. I could have done my face and 5 friends with those 4 little dots. This is super duper pigmented and thick and doesn't blend away. So I blended it out with a brush, and then I had to go over it with my sponge. I did all underpainting, probably should mention that. But I do think it looks very, very nice with the powder products on top, which are the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Powder Foundation and 120 Vanilla all over my face. And then I did go back in with some Kevyn Aqua contour just for under my chin and my Cupid's bow. I didn't bother anywhere else because I think the rest of it looks pretty good. And what else? My highlight is the Believe Beauty trio that I've had for quite a while. It's incredibly hard to open though. And I have the lightest shade on all the usual highlight spots except my inner corner, of course. I really like this highlighter. It's so good, which is why it's still here. It survived many, many declutters. And I think that is everything. Wow, yeah, that's everything. Obviously, I did the faux freckles with my freckle pens. I really like the faux freckles, especially if I'm doing a powder foundation, because you can still see like my regular skin through it. So I don't know. Plus, I really like doing the fake freckles. I think it's super cute. So that's that. That's everything for episode 109. Hopefully you liked this video and this look. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Be good and remember to be kind to you.